Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty crazy news when it comes to Walmart, and it's been kind of making some really big general, like throughout the entire world, news going on over here. Now, this is more in regards to Walmart, and they're actually having a huge, massive issue when it comes to theft, when it comes to people stealing things, and at the end of the day, the company actually might be wanting to shut down massive amounts of stores, go really more hardcore on the actual thieves themselves stealing stuff, and just kind of a big industry-wide problem that we're also seeing in things in like Target and other various places. Now, I'm kind of making this video too because it's kind of highlighting a very intriguing concept of the fact that everything is, number one, going up in prices everywhere, but number two, on the fact that people just keep on taking and stealing stuff. And at this point, I believe it's brought up to around $3 billion lost as of now for this year for Walmart and Walmart stores. So let's go talk about this kind of crazy new kind of issue going on everywhere. And of course, if you guys are brand new, before we fully dive in the video, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We're giving out a PS5, Xbox, or $500 cash itself. We do have also the Twitter and Twitching down below for bonus entries. And we keep on saying a lot. There's a brand new Samsung deal going on as of right this second, where Samsung itself is giving out a bunch of random cool SSDs on sale, link down below, and obviously the Amazon links for the signups, and let's dive on in. So as I mentioned, theft has been a big issue these past few months, especially. Theft alone has been costing so many millions upon millions of dollars, and we're actually now seeing even more and more cases of shoplifting coming on out. So a good example with this one too is that as of just even these past few days, there's a shoplifting crisis has at Target and Walmart, and they're debating on whether they want to literally go and raise prices on all their general goods and things they have because they're seeing so many of these big issues. So first and foremost, it's kind of a quick, like, I guess, interview with someone with this. We'll do a bit more proper news in a second. But they're saying like between milk, bottles, diapers, gas, rent, and everything, being a single mom, single dad, or whatever it may be, basically people are saying like they can't even make this happen. Who just moved to Durham from New York and isn't finding the triangle that much cheaper, especially with inflation soaring in a place like Target, threatening to raise prices because of a shoplifting crisis. So both Target and Walmart are coming out saying that there is a mass stealing problem, costing them so much money. One store at Crabtree Valley Mall has fallen victim to a repeat shoplifter. One woman came in last week at Bo Boo and stole a dress, and that same woman came in and did it again a week later. More theft means higher prices. That's just the bottom line. It's kind of duh. If you're losing money, you got to make that money back somehow. Now, some of these things also make sense because a lot of these companies have like a percentage allocated towards not having, all this type of stuff. They want to make it where it's like, hey, like no matter what, someone's going to steal. We have 5%, 10%, 1%, whatever it may be, but these numbers are going astronomically high. They're saying, I wonder if this is occurring despite the fact that we have a very strong market, which doesn't really seem as true these past 6 months, especially. Is it occurring because of the inflation aspect? Because wages aren't keeping up with inflation? Am I just forced to go do it? And I think that is kind of a big problem. Like a lot of folks are just not getting paid enough money. And obviously, if you literally need food to eat, you have kids you have to take care of, you have baby formula, you need clothes, you need whatever it may be. Guess what? At the end of the day, you need that. Like it's a survival thing. It's not a need or like a want. It's not a want, it's a need. Like people need to be able to eat. They need clothes. They need to like have a jacket if it gets cold. And I feel like a lot of folks are coming down to just stealing, which I don't want to condone stealing. No one should be stealing at the end of the day. But if it's between life and death, I'd rather someone go and steal from Walmart that's making billions of dollars than literally starving. You know what I mean? Like, that's just my take on it. So Target as well, in the same exact boat, is also saying that most of the crime is organized versus petty theft. It said shoplifting alone has jumped 50% year over year, which has led to more than $400 million in losses this fiscal year alone. Walmart said the uptick in shoplifting could also then lead to higher prices and even close stores if the problem persists. Everybody has to tighten the strings as well, and basically people are trying their best to be on top of this, like, security, managers, management itself, all of that. So this kind of leads into the Walmart CEO now has also gone on record stating that the CEO is warning that the company will close stores if theft doesn't slow down. Now, we've actually made a few videos and talked about this where even some big like PlayStations, Xboxes, GPUs, TVs, Switches, games, and all the other various things in between have been being stolen at a very large amount. There's a huge new issue. There's stealing happening everywhere. We even made a video that was for GameStop employees just stealing games because they just don't care. Like people at this point, they want to eat. They need to be able to go and have a living wage, and you're not going to be able to really live sometimes on $7 an hour in like Texas or something like that where the minimum wage is lower on a Walmart salary. It just doesn't work. So at this point, Walmart's now going into huge issues where Doug McMillon, the CEO himself of Walmart, has said that the theft is higher than it was ever been historically at stores. He said that along with stores closing, if theft doesn't slow down, prices are probably going to go up. Mainly because if these price points are basically a baseline and they're trying to still get good profit margins, if you lose $3 billion worth of stuff, well, it's not going to be going good. So Reuters even also previously published that Walmart loses roughly $3 billion in theft each year. Now, I'm not going to be worried too much about Walmart. They're printing money. They're getting revenue. They're doing fine. It's one of the biggest companies in the entire planet. I don't have like a soft heart over here for Target or Walmart. Now, do I think people, as I mentioned, should steal? No. But like I said, at the end of the day, these companies are making billions of dollars. So I don't really care that much. But at the same time, it is a big issue because if other folks have to pay higher amounts of money or also have like way more restrictions on just normal shopping, it does make things a little bit harder for the normal consumer. Or as well, if you have to like literally have everything like locked behind cages and stuff like that, it just makes it almost like a weird dystopian vibe. So Walmart CEO issued a stark warning on Tuesday: if theft does not slow down, the retailer will actually be closing stores across the country. Theft is an issue, he told CNBC. It is higher than it has ever been historically, and the same thing too as we mentioned with Target just recently, they're having the same issue, although Target's is a lot lower. If it's not corrected over time, prices will be higher and or stores will be closing. He did not go and say during the interview on how much money Walmart has lost in stolen items this year, although as we showed you guys, $400 million for Target. And Walmart, I would say, like not to judge people who go to Walmart, maybe a little bit sketchier, probably more likely for folks to technically lose, get stuff stolen. And on top of that too as well, Walmart, I think, also does slightly more business. So basically, the world's largest retailer likely loses about 1% of its U.S. revenue, or roughly $3 billion, and that was from Reuters in 2015. So obviously, with inflation and like businesses expanding, it might be even higher than that, especially if they're saying these have never had these numbers as high as like they've ever seen. So McMillan said the key to reducing theft is Walmart working with local law enforcement agencies, ensuring that these agencies are fully staffed, which is kind of an intriguing round, but it is true. If you want to arrest people and make sure they're not breaking the law, you probably just have to make sure you have people to enforce the law. I mean, it does kind of make sense itself. So Bentonville, Arkansas-based retail giant, is not the only retailer that has recently announced these alarm of theft, which is the same thing we covered before. We're missing inventory from reduced Target's gross margins by more than $400 million, as we just covered before, in 2022, compared with last year, and Target expects now these profit losses to grow to $600 million by the end of the fiscal year, and Target CFO Michael McDiddle said in November during the company's earnings call. So it basically goes to show that they have a lot of extra inventory. On the initial early pandemic boost, obviously these companies were running out of stock and things were flying off the shelves, and even for filler weird items, people were being a little bit more splurging on what they're spending their money on. But now we're seeing a huge retail slowdown. Number one, in the fact of all these bigger shopliftings, because people are getting and feeling the crunch of not making enough money. Massive layoffs everywhere so far, especially the tech sector. Stock markets going down, and just overall food inflation, general product inflation, everything tied in between. It's a really big issue. And of course, it's a hard one to address. And even with the Fed pushing so much into the interest rates and trying to go and raise them to slow down this inflation rate the best they can, it is also harming the economy, harming tech, and harming all these really big businesses, which obviously has a really big trickle-down effect on the normal middle class and lower consumer-based people. And as I mentioned, a lot of folks might just be losing their jobs. They might be on the verge of being homeless. And I'm not going to judge someone out there if they're literally on the verge of literally starving, that if they're stealing some food from Walmart, it's not my place to judge when Walmart's still making a few $1 billion. But it is kind of scary to go and see that these big retailer chains are noticing these big impacts and are noticing a higher increase of people stealing and everything else in between, because this is one of the craziest and weirdest situations we've been nationwide for our economy in a very long time. So I would love to hear your thoughts and comments on this one. Have you guys ever stolen? If so, don't comment that down below, because you're probably going to end up getting arrested by the Walmart cops. Don't do that. But just keep it in mind that it does seem like this is more on their radar. It does seem like stores are losing a lot of money, and ideally, we don't see Walmart or Target or these other big retailers such as Amazon raising prices even more. Now, I'd love to hear, like I said, your thoughts down below, but make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, or $500 giveaway. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below. We also do have the Samsung links down below as well if you guys would like to go and check those on out. There's a brand new promotion going on there for easy clicks and stuff. We also have the Target links and Amazon links too, and I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place.